Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the very latest edition of our Empower Leadership series. I'm absolutely delighted today to be introducing Sanjoy Chatterjee, who is Chief Strategy Officer at Confluence, speaking to us from Connecticut. Hello, Sanjoy, how are you?
I'm doing good. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, lovely to have you with us on our series. So let's crack on, we don't have much time. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the key trends that you're seeing at Confluence, especially post-pandemic, and how you think it's really impacting the investment management industry?
Yeah, I think, as the pandemic is kind of, we presume it to be winding down, but we've gone through some interesting periods over the last 18 to 20 months. And, fortunately, as far as the investment landscape has been, it's been doing pretty well. But obviously, post of the crisis of coming out of the crisis, and with respect to what's happening in the political world globally, there are a lot of supply chain challenges. And of course, with the current war and inflation, there are obviously some challenges that come to play with respect to managing assets. Both for asset owners on the institutional side, asset managers, as well as service providers in being able to react to it. So obviously, as part of the process, the biggest issue that we see is inflation and trying to be able to manage that based upon the supply chain crisis that people are talking about. And obviously that impacts various industries across the landscape. So obviously, as asset managers look at the various investment options, they have to be very mindful about the impact in terms of the long-term basis. Having said that, obviously there has been a tremendous cost pressure in terms of active management, and along with the inflation and the geopolitical crisis, obviously there are other challenges that managers have to be careful about in terms of managing assets. And the regulatory framework is also kind of heating up in terms of SFDR, ESG, and that also adds a lot of compliance-related responsibilities as part of the process. So keeping up with all those changes is also an impact that people have to be mindful about. So with that said, I think obviously we are bound to see some changes in terms of how people react to it. But we at Confluence are very well positioned to effectively provide the solutions to the various aspects of the industry that we provide our solutions for, to react to all the challenges out there in the marketplace.
Can you be a little bit more specific about some of those elements in which you're uniquely positioned to provide?
Yeah, sure. So I think, as you've heard, with post of Confluence's acquisitions last year of Investment Metrics and CSS, we have actually completed the complete capital flow in terms of servicing every aspect of it. We start with the asset owners, we service asset managers, and we also service the various service providers. So when it comes to the whole capital flow, when it comes to asset allocation, meeting the needs of an asset owner, our investment metrics solutions basically help manage those assets. In terms of providing insights with respect to how asset managers are dealing with the various situations in terms of winning mandates, providing risk and analytics, we have a plethora of solutions that basically addresses that. And when it comes to service providers, we have probably the best global compliance solutions there to effectively address the needs. So effectively, what we are seeing is we are very well positioned to effectively allow the asset owners, asset managers, and service providers to effectively use the Confluence solutions, streamline their workflow, and provide all the necessary solutions in a streamlined manner to effectively manage the cost in terms of providing some of the services.
And in a nutshell, why is that so important to everyone's clients? If you could condense it down.
Yeah, so I think obviously the needs of an asset owner versus an asset manager and a service provider, they're somewhat interrelated as part of the ecosystem. And obviously, trying to service the asset owner in terms of making sure that they're investing to make sure they can meet all their future liabilities. So their spending policy is important, using a robust analytical framework. And effectively, that's what we bring to bear to assist our asset allocator clients and asset owner clients. Similarly, on the asset manager side, in terms of highlighting where to how to win mandates in the institutional space, how to manage their portfolio from a regulatory framework perspective, how to derive insights in terms of what strategies are working, they look to us to basically use our insight solutions to effectively power that. And finally, service providers, in terms of meeting all the regulatory requirements, ESG and the SFDR requirements, which are becoming prevalent as part of on a global basis, they want to use a streamlined solution to effectively make sure they can comply with some of those compliance solutions in terms of assisting both asset managers and asset owners meet their obligations. So we at Confluence see ourselves at the center of the ecosystem, helping the whole institutional world in terms of managing the workflow when it comes to investments, proper manager selection, investment strategy in terms of new products, as well as meeting the compliance requirements.
Thank you so much, Sanjoy. That was really fantastic, and thank you for being so concise. So thanks, everybody. Rounding up for this edition of Empower Leaders Insights. See you soon.
Thank you.